Well, hello. So today we're going to talk to you about Christmas, and the whole theme and everything is brought to you by Tifferet, the central column. Look up Tifferet on the internet and find out what Tifferet's all about. But go to Tifferet.com if that even exists. And if it does, follow the rabbit hole. Anywho, Tiferet. One of the trees, one of the branches from the tree of life. So in Tiferet, it is all about balancing. So we're going to deal with Christmas, and we're going to deal with balancing. So Christmas is a time that originally, there are very different themes about Christmas. For some people, it's a time where you go and buy gifts and give them to the people that you want to give gifts to. For other people, it's a time of family, and for some people, it varies in different degrees. It correlates all one together. And some people don't spend time with family but buy a bunch of gifts. Some people spend a bunch of time with family but don't buy any gifts. Some people don't spend time with anybody but make a bunch of donations. People celebrate Christmas in a very different ways. Very different. Oh, I threw that in. Thank you, Light. So, but we're going back to Constantine, and Constantine was the first who basically made it the birth of the. This was the time of the birth of the Lord of Light, Sol Invictus. And Sol Invictus is kind of like the Lord for the warriors, Sol Invictus, like the never-ending light, that is there. Is it associated to the Christ element? I don't know. Some theologians say that Christ was actually born in spring, so there's various different degrees on that. So why Tiferet? Balancing act. Well, during Christmas time, I think that we can get caught up in like, what can I give people? And what can I give people? And I think sometimes we forget about the thought and the thought about how do we care for people? It's a time of giving. So it's important not just to buy random things that people may just want, but give them what they need, or give them what is good for their soul. So that's a really great time in order to share that with people. Sometimes there's people out there that are suffering diseases, and maybe if you just take a moment and just take out a book, and I've been going back to my friend recommended go back to the New Testament, and I do believe there's some secrets in the New Testament. Kabbalistic secrets of the New Testament's perhaps coming to you in the future. I don't know. We'll see. But the thing is that it goes. I think about Christ. I think about Christ, and am I going to buy things? Yeah. They're halting the pipeline, so I'm going to negate my boycott, and I'm going to shop. And I'm going to shop for things for people in order to help and assist the economy. Am I going to buy a lot of things? Probably not. And am I going to make a lot of things? Probably yes. Am I going to give specific gifts that are really thought motivated and heart motivated? Yes. Yes. That is the ultimate thing, is that you have to reach down and find the uncomfortable element of just taking a moment for other people and just sharing. I know it's a crunch, right? It's a very quick punch. One of the most memorable gifts that I got was two of the most memorable gifts that I got that I can tell you. My cousin Tanya gave me a pencil. She gave us all pencils. She wrapped them up and she gave us pencils. And it was just such a beautiful experience that I remember it to this day, that she gave me that pencil. And for Christmas, she was so tiny. And it was just like, oh, I don't think I have the pencil anymore. I'm sure I used it. But it was a lot of things. But the moral of the story is that was a great story, and that you can give anybody anything pretty much if the thought is behind it, because they will treasure it and love you forever. And even it depends, if you're a billionaire and you're giving people random pencils from the store, I don't know what kind of message that's gonna send, unless it's one of those like scratcher commercials. Here's a penny. What? you know? Maybe there is no scratcher. Maybe so you can scratch your car because you're getting a new one. I don't know. But Christmas, greed, flip it. How much can you flip it? The right ultimately controls the left. What does that mean, that the right ultimately controls the left? Is that you have to ultimately, and the onagers are doing that. They're ultimately pushing us in that direction, that ultimately what shares more, you have to share more in order to receive more. So, and it's not just like giving money. It's not just, it's overcoming that. Everybody has those little obstacles in their own personal life and just kind of going like, okay, okay, okay. And then just eventually reaching your higher purpose. Tifferet. All brought to you by Tifferet, the balancing world of Tifferet. If you say Tifferet many times, you find the balancing act. My moon is in Libra, so trust me. Tifferet and I are best friends and allies. But we're learning from each other, and I really appreciate Tifferet. Do you appreciate Tifferet? I want to wish you all a wonderful, wonderful year. Take care.